Please do remember them in your prayers, and also do remember their loved ones that are left to bear this pain. I want to make it short and sweet, so I would like to just call Imam Dr. Muhammad Masool. He is the Imam of our local mosque here in Regina, to make some du'as. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon all of you. God ordained for everyone at all times that whoever takes a life, it will be as if they killed all the humanity. And whoever saves a life, it will be as if they saved all humanity. Although our messengers already came to them with clear proofs, many of them still transgressed towards or transgressed afterwards through the land. Quran 5:32. As we all know, we are here today to stand against hate crimes and terrorist attacks, especially the hate crime that took place in London, Ontario, against 4 innocent humans who were killed, leaving behind a 9-year-old child who has to live with this trauma for the rest of his life, only because they looked different or because they had a different faith. I wonder how much hate and ignorance the killer had in his heart towards the victims that made him take the life of 4 people, 3 generations of women innocent. We are here to seek peace and tolerance towards all human beings. The best statement we can say at difficult times like this is to repeat the verse 2:156, "To God we belong, and to Him we return." Please join me in a brief prayer for the victims and for the safety of everyone. Oh God, we ask you to accept the victims amongst the martyrs. Oh God, we ask you to elevate their ranks in paradise. Oh God, we ask you to combine them in heavens with the prophets and messengers and the most righteous people. Oh God, we seek refuge in you from severe calamities and hardships, grips of ill hope, evil destiny, and from rejoicing of haters. Oh God, we ask you well-being and safety in this world and in the hereafter. Oh God, we seek refuge in you from every evil that you have created. Oh God, we ask you for forgiveness and well-being in this world and in the hereafter. Oh God, we ask you for forgiveness and well-being in our religious and our worldly affairs. Oh God, conceal our faults, calm our fears, and protect us from before us and behind us, from our right, our left, and from above us. And we seek refuge in you from disgrace. Ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon all.
Jazakallah khair. And I just want to remind you, everybody, please do, please make sure you're wearing a mask and maintaining social distancing, and please stay within your group, and make sure you're following all the guidelines by Saskatchewan Health Authority. The next, I would like to invite the President of Islamic Association of Saskatchewan, Dr. Muhammad Abu Dair, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon all of you. I have been invited to speak, but the tragic and the horrific event left us speechless actually. How this can happen in Canada, not once, not twice, but for the third time. After the Quebec mosque and after Toronto mosque, we have been heard this news from Toronto, from London, Ontario. It is really very sad to hear this type of news or to have this type of actions taken on the ground of Islamophobia or hate. We would like now to ask ourselves, all of us, what action and what we can do to eliminate this to happen again for any other people around the world. It is really, we would like to go back tonight and ask ourselves what we can contribute and what we can do to stop this type of actions which fueled by hate and Islamophobia. We believe strongly in education. Maybe we have to introduce educational from kindergarten to the university on all levels, just to educate the people how they can coexist together despite their color, despite their race, despite their faith. We are here to live together, to cooperate together, to help each other, to have a peaceful life. That's all about this life. There's nothing more than that. And also today we would like to call for all the municipality, for the provincial, for the federal leaders to take action. To take action to find the source of this hate, which built to the extent that a driver can run over a tree generation and kill them. We have to think about that, and we have to stop it, and we have to find ways to stop that. So we are calling for a study. For example, we have here the University of Regina is a leader in conducting studies which have been led to change in policy. So let us, all of us, participate in this type of studies, Islamophobia and hate, and find concrete solutions for this problem and eliminating it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all their souls, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them the highest rank in paradise. And really we would like to ask and thank you, all of you who are coming here, just to remember and to stand behind our brothers and sisters, fellow, and we really appreciate that, and thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. The next speaker that I want to introduce is Dr. Abu Gadeda. He is the president of Regina Huda School.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon all of you. The Muslim community, different organizations and groups, including Regina Huda School, all shocked by the senseless killing of 4 Muslims from one family in an intentional car attack in London, Ontario. By now, you are all familiar with the sad details. Only their 9-year-old child, son, has survived and undergoing treatment, and as you know. This is not Canada we cherish. This is not the Canada we are proud of. This is not the real Canada. Someone is trying to tarnish the beautiful face of this country. Someone is trying to sabotage the peace and harmony among us and among all Canadians. We will not allow this to happen or to have the upper hand. Building barriers with people who don't believe in the same belief will breed hate. And hate is one face. One face of the hate is Islamophobia. Unfortunately, this led to this tragedy. What is Canada? Canada is you, me, and the others. Canada is our brothers and sisters here, friends from all faith and walks of life, who joined us, comforting us, making sure that nobody can alienate us or make us uncomfortable in a land we called home. The politicians from all colors, in one voice, condemned the act of terrorism. We might have different views politically, but not about terrorism. This is the real Canada. Our thoughts and prayers go out to those impacted by this tragedy. Every life matters, and we, as Regina Huda School extended family, send our condolences to the victims' family and friends. We teach and tell our children there is never a reason for intolerance and hate, and we will continue to model acceptance and care for all people. Friends, brothers, sisters, I thank you all for being here today. I'm certain justice will be served. There is no justified terrorism. There is no good terrorism or bad terrorism. Terrorism is terrorism. It's ugly and bad. We all say, and your stand here today is a statement that no for terrorism. Yes for this country. Yes for Canada, our home for everyone. Thank you again. God bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. Now, I would like to invite MLA Mark Daughtry, and also I just want to say thank you to him and his staff to help us organize this event.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. The Imams and Sheikh and Dr. Abaguda and the dignitaries, Chief Braith, our mayor, community members, friends, so many in this crowd. I heard the news and I was horrified. Time stood still. And I went, no, not again, not in this country. We're better than this. What are the words? We can do better. We can renounce hate. That's a start. We can stand strong together. Most of you chose this country. You chose this province. You chose this city. Is London, Ontario, a wake-up call for us? Hate is here. We want to stand up for the people. You've told me, my friends, you've thought of it. That could be me.
That could be my family. You came here for peace, for a better life. Every single parent hopes that their child has a better life. That's why you came here. So what are your words to your children? Your words of comfort. We truly are all in this together. We will denounce, we will call out, we will fight together. We stand with a family from London. Diversity is our strength. Love for all, hate for none. I want to let you know that you are not alone. All of Saskatchewan mourns with you. Islamophobia is real. Racism is real. We stand and we say no. No to Islamophobia. No to racism. No to hate. We're going to give hope to your children. We'll answer their questions. This is your home. You are our friends. May peace and blessing be upon you. Thank you. I know that now that the Minister, Laura Ross, has some flowers that she would like to present. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person that I would like to invite is MLA Trent Witherspoon.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon all of you. Harris and the leadership that's brought us here together on Treaty 4 territory in the homeland of the Métis in front of the Saskatchewan legislature, to you I say thank you. I wish we didn't need to gather here today, but we must. I want to say thank you to the honored Imam for his leadership now and always within our community. I want to thank President Abu Dir and the leadership of the Islamic Association of Saskatchewan, all of the members. This is an incredibly heavy time for leadership and every last member of the Muslim community, and we stand here with love. I'm joined here today as well with my colleagues, MLA Alina Young, MLA Mira Conway, and MLAs from across the floor, Fayaz, Doherty, Gruel, Ross. We're joined here today by Police Chief Bray and by Her Worship, Mayor Masters. We're here as a community to condemn this horrible act of violence that's beyond description. I don't need to tell many of you here today about how real Islamophobia and hate and racism are within our province, our community, and our country. We can look to the horrible recent examples of the loss of 6 lives in Quebec at the mosque. We can think of the loss in Toronto. We can think of the violence in Edmonton. We can think of Abu Sheikh 3 years ago in Saskatoon, who was nearly run down or was run down on his way home from prayers. Sadly, this was not an isolated incident. It's important for us to recognize that and own up to it. We stand here to express our love to Muslims across Saskatchewan, to Muslims within our community, our friends and neighbors, who bring so much kindness and goodness to all of us, who build and better our community, our province, and our country day in, day out. We stand here with love. We stand here with immense sadness. We stand here with hurt, and we stand here with anger. And we stand here in solemn solidarity. And we must stand here ready to act, to root out Islamophobia, hate, and racism and to work to end it. This means owning up to the reality that's unacceptable, the injustice that so many face, and stepping up with actions, hopefully on a united front, out of this legislature behind me and with all levels of government, with the city, with the federal government, and with U.S. citizens and residents and the community. Each and every one of you are doing your part and more. It's on us as decision makers to work together as full partners and to do our part. On behalf of the Saskatchewan NDP, you have our commitment on that front to work towards a better tomorrow, to ensure the actions that root out and end Islamophobia, hate, and violence, and ensure the kind of safety and security that everyone deserves. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon all you.
Thank you, Trent. I just want to do a friendly reminder. Please make sure you're wearing masks properly and maintaining social distancing, and please do remain within your group. Thank you. Now I would like to call Salman Mullah to continue the rest of the presentation. Thank you, and do remember us in your prayers. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Salman Mullah, and our next speaker is Her Worship Mayor Sandra Masters.
Good evening. On behalf of Regina City Council, I would like to extend our deepest condolences to the Otzel family. Earlier today, City Council extended its condolences to the City of London, Ontario as well. What we know to be true is that families are at the heart of any community. And a family was lost to the City of Ontario. 3 generations of women representing 3 generations of family. 1 decades old, 1 in the process of raising their family, and 1 young woman who will never raise her family. It's a heartbreaking and horrific act of racism, intolerance, and hatred, and it should not, will not be tolerated. To the Islamic Association of Saskatchewan, Regina Huda School, and the entire Muslim community, the City of Regina extends our condolences, compassion, and gratitude to each of you. We share in your collective grief and commitment towards inclusivity. We are all richer for you calling Regina home. We are richer for your family, your faith, and your love. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Masters. Our next speaker is City Councillor Shannon Zachidiak.
Hi everyone, I'm Shannon Zagidniak. I'm the Regina City Councillor for Ward 8. I'm here today to condemn the attack of a Muslim family as they were on an evening stroll on Sunday in London, Ontario. This attack was personal and malicious, and it's important that elected officials of all levels call this out as a terrorist attack. My heart breaks for the 9-year-old boy who survived the attack and witnessed 4 other members of his family targeted because of their Muslim faith. Islamophobia has no place in our society. I want to acknowledge that I don't know what it's like to be afraid for my safety because of my religion or the color of my skin. I'm very saddened that there's still so much prejudice and discrimination rampant in our communities. And I know this could just as easily happen here. I also want to say, as a city councillor, I want to do whatever I can to help create an inclusive Regina where everyone feels safe and welcome. Thank you to the organizers of this event and to everyone who has shown up today to honor the victims of this attack and to show support for our local Muslim community. Thank you especially to Harris Khan, who took my call after the attack and brainstormed with me about what we could do to promote a safer and more inclusive Regina. Harris has suggested that a good starting point would be to listen. Harris and I will be organizing a town hall event for our elected officials to listen to the concerns of community members who have faced discrimination and listen to ideas for improvement. I know this isn't enough, but it's a start. We haven't sorted out the details of this event yet, but we'll promote it widely, including on the Facebook event for this vigil. I look forward to helping by doing whatever I can to make Regina more inclusive and welcoming. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker is from the Regina Police Services, Chief Evan Bray.
Assalamu alaikum, and good evening, everyone. I'm sad to be here, but I'm proud to be here to stand with you tonight. This is a tragedy that, unfortunately, we've gathered for before. In fact, it seems like many of us were just in front of City Hall after the terrible attack in New Zealand. And here we are again tonight. Unfortunately, this attack was much closer to home. I'm going to tell you what I know about my Muslim friends and community members. Is that they're here tonight with hearts full of fear, sadness, grief, and anger. But I also know they're not here with a heart full of hatred. And yet, ironically, it was a heart full of hatred that caused this tragic and senseless event. Our community is stronger because of you. And I'm proud that you've chosen this as your home. And as your chief of police, I will continue to work diligently and without tire to ensure that we make this community as safe as possible. I am, though, going to say this is much bigger than police. The doctor said earlier tonight, this is not the country we want to be. I've heard people say, this is not who Canada is. Sadly, it is. We can't say it isn't, because this happened. And until it's not happening, we all have work to do. And you know who has the most? Any of you that are here tonight, and anyone else in our community who looks like me. And I'm not talking about the uniform. I'm talking about the color of my skin. Because it starts with conversations that were not meant for ears that would not tolerate the conversations. When you hear someone say something that is offside, we need to call it out. That's not acceptable. That's not who we are, that's not who I am, and that's not what I believe in. Because it's those little conversations and those little comments that test whether or not society is tolerant of that sort of behavior. And actions come out of behavior and comments like that can happen seemingly innocently in backyards and in garages, in hockey rinks, in baseball fields, in Victoria Park, it doesn't matter where. So we all have to stand up against that. But if you are like me, and you are born and raised in this community or this country, and your skin looks like mine, we have an extra responsibility. You're here tonight making a commitment no different than I am. My commitment is not only on behalf of the Regina Police Service, but it's on behalf of the citizens of this community, this province, and this country. I love you. I appreciate you choosing this as your home. And we're here to fight for you, for continued peace and safety. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you to our past three speakers. Your commitment to the cause is very well noted. For everyone, we'd like to just have a reminder, if you can please social distance yourself. If you've come in a group, stay with your group. If you are with a group of friends, move yourself out. we do need to follow those guidelines. And we will now move on to the next speakers, Dr. Mohammed Mullah and Faiza Mullah.
Assalamu alaikum. As we almost come to an end of the somber event, we would like to thank everyone for their overwhelming support, especially Mr. Mark Doherty, Wisconsin Center Authority, the Legislature Building, Regina Police Services, members of the Legislature, and the City Council. We are aware of all the restrictions that have been placed on us, and we have tried very best to follow it. And I hope you don't mind if we ask you to socially distance. Anyway, I want to bring something up. Last week I attended a vigil. At these same steps for 215 missing children from the residential school graves. It saddened me that we had to be there, and we had to be here, and we had to go through that. And what I would like to say is, we should not have had to mourn these deaths and subsequent deaths because of the systemic racism. So this has been happening in Canada for some time, and we need to somehow stop it. It's not only Muslims, it's lots of people that are going through systemic racism. We all support each other, we are with each other, but we need to work towards a common goal to eradicate the systemic racism. We have to ask, when does this stop? We can all work together, but we need real action from our politicians. And we have some here, so I'm going to address it to them. We're addressing it to the federal politicians, federal government, everybody. We all work together. Islamophobia is real, and we have seen the devastating effects year after year. Do we need to come to vigils every 2 years and say the same thing? It should not be lip service now. We need to have some kind of action, be it us, be it politicians, be it the country. So politicians, this is my message to you. We need you to work together and call it out for what it is, and criminalize actions like this. Criminalize the supremacist, white supremacist groups which are behind these actions. You need to somehow deal with it. So let us all stand together and condemn hate. We refuse to let the hate and violence scare us. We have children here, we have families here, people are scared, but we should not let them scare us anymore. We are part of the Canadian mosaic as every other person. We are here to contribute, we are here to live, we are here to live in peace. So, taking an evening walk should be a relaxing activity, not one where we have to actually look over our shoulder and wonder, who are we offending? Who may knock into us? Who may swear at us? Who may spit at us? Those things happen. It doesn't only happen in London, Ontario, it's happening here as well. It happened to me, it's happened to people in Saskatoon, it's happened to many people. So, the human cost of being quiet has severe consequences. Sorry about this. Has severe consequences. Islamophobia leads to hate, and we have seen what hate does. Loss of lives. The 4 people in front, the names in front that you have seen, they have lost their life. And for what? Because of someone's hatred? So we ask the Almighty, Allah, to help the innocent child who has been left behind in his new life. I just want to share something really personal today. I received a message, a picture of him. He has woken up. The first thing he asked his family, after they told him that his parents have passed away, his first question was, will I be allowed to go back to my home to fetch my things? And that was an innocent child thinking about his things. But the next question, when it finally hit him that he has no family and he has no home, he asked, who is going to look after me and where am I going to live? And that is enough to break everybody's heart. And I mean, as a mother, if that happened to my kids, I don't even know. I mean, what I would be thinking. So I pray that This is just not lip service and talk and vigils and get-togethers. I pray that one day we will not have to stand here again. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair and good evening. I will hand this over to my husband for 2 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Mark Doherty, the legislature MLAs, including the Minister Laura Ross. I also wish to acknowledge the Mayor Sandra Masters and also the police, Mr. Evan Bray. I'm sorry, I'm just having a little bit of emotional breakdown here. About 2 years ago, Mr. Doherty asked me to talk to the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association annual meeting, and I was at the Hotel Saskatchewan when at the end of the talk I said, I am a physician who made Saskatchewan my home 23 years ago. I came from South Africa where we had experienced a lot of discrimination. I had 2 uncles who were very close colleagues with Nelson Mandela, and they fought to end discrimination. And I said just a few weeks before I came to the podium that day that there was a group of people in Regina who call themselves the Yellow Vesters, and they were very much opposed to immigrants, like many of us have come here to make this our home. And I said at that point that being a Muslim and being of color, I began to fear something that I should not have feared in the past, making Saskatchewan my home. Unfortunately, today we are here to condole the family and the extended friends of the family that lost their lives because of hate. And I believe that I said to everybody, I came here as a physician. When somebody comes to the hospital, whether in the beginning of their need for help or in their terminal part when I'm a physician in palliative care, I don't ask where you were born. I don't ask what color you are. All my physician friends who are international medical graduates that have made Saskatchewan home, and we make up 60% of this population of physicians. I think we carry a message for all. We love this place, we love the freedoms, but we also require that everybody else share in the equality of humankind, and that there should be no racism, there should be no Islamophobia, there should be no anti-Semitism, there should be no missing and murdered indigenous women, and we should be respecting each other for what we are, children of God. I take this moment and sincerely ask everybody to be part of that moment of care and concern. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker will be Sheikh Noman, representing Rahma Center.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are all here standing together with heartache and deep sadness for our Muslim family from London. 5 members of the Muslim family in London, Ontario, went out for a walk on Sunday evening. Before the day was done, 4 of them had lost their lives in a horrific, cowardly act by a terrorist. The police described it as a targeted hate crime. This was a premeditated act of terrorism, Islamophobia, and xenophobia. Today, my heart breaks for the 9-year-old who will wake up, inshallah. We make dua for him. Who will wake up in the hospital to find that his whole family is gone. That just by going for a walk caused him to lose his family and put him in the hospital with critical injuries. I am a father of 4 children, and it's very sad, very hard for me to explain what happened, to explain that to my children. They ask questions. It's very hard for me as a father to explain that this is happening in Canada. This is happening in where they were born. Our sisters and brothers were targeted simply because they have a different faith. They're wearing different things. Because of that, they were killed. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have mercy upon them and to make Canada a better place for us and for all of us. Thank you so much.
Would Brother Muazzam be able to come here, please? Just introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Salman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm one of the representatives from Pakistan Canada Cultural Association. And thank you very much for organizing this event. We just wanted to, on behalf of our Pakistani community, wanted to share the same feelings that everybody talked about. Enough said about this horrific incident and the effect of that in the whole community and the society as a whole, irrespective of the color, religion, and ethnicity. I just wanted to bring up one point for all the dignitaries, all the legislators who are present here or who are listening. Is this possible, or there's a possibility that you're going to take this back to this honorable building, the legislative building, and talk about the laws, the regulations, to anything that can help our society to crack down on this hatred? Are you going to treat this act of hate the same way you have been treating all the violence and the terrorism that had happened in the past? Are you taking this serious, that this is going to initiate any discussion on the level of the lawmakers, the intellectuals, the debate on the TV, or any news media, or anything that kind of a big forum where you're going to talk about this and find out some solutions? Or as other speakers also mentioned, that is this just a lip servicing, that we are here, we gather here, show our condolences, sympathies, and that's about it. And that's and we don't want to come back here again and mourning about some other person. We don't want to do that. So what are we going to do about it? I just wanted to ask this question. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
All right. Thank you everyone for coming and attending this vigil. We will now proceed to light the candles, which will be started by Labiba Abu Ghudda, one of our main organizers. So if a few of the people that have the candles, if you were handing it out, please hand out some more to anyone. If anyone has brought a candle, you can prep yourself. And what we will do is that you can bring your candle here, light the candle, and then kindly move over to the side. You can make your prayer or whatever moment that you need here, and then move on as we can have a flow for people here. And our two imams that have come in attendance today will be closing with a small prayer to end it off.
So inshallah, I'll be making dua for all of us here and for the brothers and the sisters who are affected by this and for their families. Inshallah, and then after that, our Imam, Dr. Muhammad Maslouf, will make another dua inshallah ta'ala. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, alhamdulillahi wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تحفظنا من بين أيدينا ومن خلفنا وعن أيماننا وعن شمائلنا ومن فوقنا، ونعوذ بعظمتك ربنا أن نغتال من تحت أقدامنا. اللهم احفظنا من بين أيدينا ومن خلفنا وعن أيماننا وعن شمائلنا ومن فوقنا، ونعوذ بعظمتك ربنا أن نغتال من تحت أقدامنا. اللهم احفظ أهلينا، اللهم احفظنا واحفظ أهلينا وأولادنا ونساءنا. اللهم إنا نسألك يا رب العالمين أن تؤمننا في أوطاننا. اللهم أمنا في أوطاننا يا رب العالمين. اللهم أنزل علينا غيث الأمن والإيمان، غيث الأمن والإيمان يا رب العالمين. اللهم أصلح هذه البلاد، اللهم أصلح هذه البلاد يا رب العالمين، وأبعد عنا هذه الكراهية يا أرحم الراحمين. التجأنا إليك وتبرأنا من حولنا وقوتنا إلى حولك وقوتك، فإنه لا حول لنا ولا قوة إلا بك. احفظنا يا رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا.
So I'm just going to recite some few verses from the Holy Quran. The last two verses in the second chapter, they're all prayers for everybody, and I'm going to recite them in Arabic and just conclude, and that's it. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار ربنا إنك من تدخل النار فقد أخزيته وما للظالمين من أنصار ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد.
جزاكم الله خير الشيخ. We will now start the candlelight procession, or not procession, the lighting of the candles. So whoever has candles, if you have standalone candles, you can come to the front area to start lighting it. Whoever wants to bring a candle, you can come to this area as well. You can make your way down here now. And we'll social distance as well. And if you'd like to come pay respects, you can come up here and then move over at the end.